welcome to our food preparation class, and we're happy you're here. We want to welcome also the people that are streaming in San Marcos Church, SDH Church. So we want to welcome everybody to invite their friends to watch it. Also, we welcome my group, that's Just Restore, and Just group is Leaky Gut for Health with Dr. Joyce. So we want to welcome everybody. I think we have a lot of people following this. So we are going to show this dish is called Fiesta Potato Layer. So it's several recipes at once, so you can incorporate each different recipe in different dishes. So that's why we choose this, right? So we are going to start with the potato. We mash potato. Everything is from scratch, as you can see here. We like to use some good tools to speed it up the process because we're in a rush always. So, but we still want to cook everything from scratch and healthy. So we've done.
I'm trying to think of what would be the best way for everybody here to see, because we're up here, and I'm wondering if we went down there, if it might be easier. Or...
I will show them.
Okay.
Yeah. Good idea to put it in there. I don't know if that will work, but I'm pretty sure our friend can try to work on that. Okay, so the first thing we do, we're gonna move on really fast because we have a lot to do in short time. We only have an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
So we cook potatoes, so simply with water. This is organic potatoes, little pieces, and we just cook until they're soft. So we are going to mash them.
So how much potato did you put
So
in?
we have some recipes that they can be given right now. Right, Dr. Louis? We have some recipes can be given so people can be following. But for people, our viewers, this is about 6 potatoes. And we make this fresh coconut milk last night.
This is super yummy coconut milk.
This is extremely tasty for our cereals. It's the best. This is my favorite.
We made it from mature coconuts, and I was out there opening these coconuts. And
So we put about 1 cup, half a cup, 1 cup, just enough liquid.
Do you want me to?
Yeah. And then we're going to put some salt. We're going to calculate about 1 tablespoon. Cook.
The cook.
Cook
yes.
soft. Now we're going to put about 1 tablespoon of onion powder. You can put also garlic powder, or you can just blend it fresh and cook with the potatoes. And that's it. So we're just going to mash it, and then we're going to put it in this spring pan as soon as that's done. I love the spring pans because they make the food look amazing. So.
And you guys who are here, you know when Mercy started cooking, right? Because some of you are going to be thinking that this, cooking's kind of hard. How many of you don't cook?
Okay, you're my friend. Who else doesn't cook? Okay, I started cooking when I was 49. I have no idea how to cook, not even rice, anything like that. But God can change that, right? Because if you start doing this is totally different. So I'm excited because it's different. It's nothing, it's not common. So that's why it's exciting. So God can give you this excitement, not just force yourself to cook, but the excitement to cook. For healing, because once you start feeling better, there's nothing better than that, right? God, of course, guide us through that. Okay, so the potato is almost done, and I always like to taste a little bit to be sure that it tastes well. Our next, we're gonna layer it with different type of layers. The next, we're gonna make this cream. We call cream cheese, but it's not cheese, it's just veggie cream. So we're gonna use a Vitamix and Dr. Louis.
Lou?
Yeah, we're gonna need we don't need water. Yeah. So we have here 2 cups of soaked sunflower seeds. Everything we soak, that's a key, right? Yeah, Dr. Choe talked about that. That's a key. Last night, what did we eat this morning?
We ate amaranth cereal and coconut milk, some berries, and waffles.
Yeah,
Really good
and we soaked the amaranth last night. You know, we even traveling, so we just bring a little amaranth.
And she brought waffles from
And we
home.
brought some quinoa. So yesterday we ate quinoa, and today we ate amaranth. So we just soaked the night before. The next day you cook it. How easy is that, right?
That's not dehydrated, just
No, just soak. Don't need to be dehydrated.
The dehydration would be to preserve it so that you can have it in the future, or you can use it in certain
measurement?
recipes, like if sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds to make the seed butters. So
1 cup of water overnight.
just overnight, 8 to 12 hours. The longer you soak it, it's going to get out more, but then you rinse it. You want to rinse it out.
You also want to rinse it well to remove all the lectins and anti-nutrients. Okay, so we have our water. We're going to add garlic.
that's a lot of sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
How much sunflower seed? Did you get
2
your
cups.
recipes? Yes.
You can
So,
open this for
Mercy,
me.
is this 2 cups of sunflower seeds dry that became this, or is this
It's
2
after.
cups of?
No, she means because the recipe says 1 cup, but you're
Oh,
making
okay.
more.
Yeah, we're making more.
Okay.
This, yeah. So we're going to remove this, the peel. We're going to put a onion, fresh onion, and 1 clove of garlic. Then we're going to add bell pepper, red bell pepper, about half. And salt, about 1 teaspoon of salt, or a little more, usually, yeah. And then lemon juice, and that's it. No, the presser made it. We love this device. It makes everything so easy. Otherwise, you suffer. These are from Cherie's garden. The
Yeah,
lemon.
so they're a little hard.
Okay, so we're just gonna blend it.
Okay, I've got to.
You got the blender?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so you need a high-speed blender. So this is a Vitamix. We're just gonna blend it. Yeah, it had to be super creamy and tasty. Sometimes it just needs a little more lemon, a little more salt. So this is a food processor. It makes things super easy.
And don't worry, this sunflower seed, you can kind of, you know, this is a very good recipe, but if you don't have the exact ingredients, you can just do it with, sometimes I just do it with lemon juice and salt and garlic, and I don't always have the red bell pepper, and so different ways to do it.
Okay, then we're gonna, this is a layered dish. So we're gonna get our bell peppers. This is for the salsa. If you're following the recipe, this is for the salsa.
Let's move this out of the way.
So we're just gonna put it there. And move this so people can see it. So you don't have to chop so well because the food processor is gonna chop for you. And then we have good amount of cilantro. So what a good cilantro for?
Cilantro is a really good one for detox, and actually some people think that it helps with removing heavy metals. And so some people say when they've had a lot of mercury and that kind of thing that they'll take cilantro. Cilantro will mobilize the mercury from the system, and then you can take some charcoal to clear it out of the system. And so that's how some people recommend using it.
Yeah, cilantro is super great. So put our cilantro.
I like doing charcoal in powder form because when you get it from the capsules, for one thing, you have the capsule itself, which has its own things, and you need to digest that and everything. But so if you get it in the powder form, it's just more convenient. You can get a lot more. I'll take it with some water. And I used to have to put like lemon juice into it and maybe a little bit of honey, and I've had children drink it that way. They'll drink it as like a lemon ginger charcoal drink, and they like it. So you can do it that way. It just takes on the taste of water. So.
Yeah, so you can make a salsa very fast. This is large amounts, so probably for 2 people it'll be so fast.
Is it just 1 cup of charcoal water, or?
Yeah, 1 glass. How much charcoal are you?
1 tablespoon with 1 cup of water.
She does a lot of 1 tablespoon. And so when you're detoxing, it's probably better. And you want to make sure with charcoal you're drinking lots of water because it will bind and it will cause you to be constipated if you're not drinking enough water. But it's really good at getting rid of things and being very anti-inflammatory.
So we can start layering the dish. So we're gonna bring the spring pan.
Sorry.
And the potatoes can go there. And
okay. Do you want me to put the potatoes first? I need a
about half. Okay.
Yeah. For the charcoal? No, because the charcoal is not something like ginger that kind of stimulates the immune system. So some of these plants, like echinacea, for instance, it will stimulate the immune system. And so some people will take it when they get sick, but it's not something that you want to take every single day because that can also be a problem for the immune system if it's constantly being stimulated. So.
We want to do a lot of fresh foods, right? Because they have enzymes and they're going to create a good environment for the microbiome, the good bacteria to grow. So the microbiome can change pretty fast, actually, if we eat a lot of fresh foods.
Yeah, so the microbiome can change according to the antibiotics you're taking, right? That's going to kill off a lot of good as well as bad bacteria. So if you are on an antibiotic, you definitely have, the thing about it is, your microbiome can change if your roommate is taking an antibiotic. Yeah, that's why it's very important for us all to stay healthy for each other.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I just saw that in a study somewhere. So, the microbiome is very sensitive. You know that they're actually doing fecal transplants, right? Because people who have issues, they have something called C. difficile, which causes diarrhea and these negative symptoms, right? So they will actually do a fecal transplant where they'll take poo from somebody and put it in someone else, and they have found that helps change the microbiome such that people
at least temporarily.
But the other thing that they found is that also causes people to take on some of the other characteristics of that other person. It will cause them to lose weight or gain weight depending upon what that donor was like. It can also change their mood. So what you eat, see, this is the thing, what you eat changes what you poo, right? And what you poo is changing you. So it's really important that we're thinking about all these things as we're eating. It's not just how good it tastes, right? So.
Okay, we have our salsa here. See how fast it is when you use a food processor? And we're just gonna pour it here. Then we're gonna add some salt and some lemon.
We don't do spice.
You can put a little. No jalapeno.
We don't do jalapeno.
Well, for us that have autoimmune disorder, digestive issues, it's very stimulant, and then it can raise the CHL high amounts, and too much of that can cause acid reflux, and so we avoid.
The diet, you'll find that the simpler it is. Because, for instance, one thing that is helpful too is to keep the number of foods that you're eating at one meal kind of to make that smaller as well. So if you're eating a whole bunch of different varieties of food, like at potluck, you'll find that it's harder on the system versus when you're eating just a few types of things at any one meal.
So pick few things in the potluck.
You know? And so...
Yeah. Bring your food and share with everybody else. That's what I do. I always cook for me and for everybody else, so
yeah.
I eat what I bring.
Now, we're sharing with you some recipes, and these do cause, there's some variety here. I have found, with the sicker you are, the simpler your food is. The blander your food is, it's a lot easier on the digestive system. And you kind of get used to it. You kind of get used to a simpler way of eating.
Okay. So this salsa should be ready. I give one spoon.
I heard once that the peppers, all the peppers help stimulate, the digestive system and prevent certain types of cancers, as long as they're...
The hot peppers?
Yeah, the peppers.
Peppers are good remedies,
As long as you
but if you have digestive issues, like we do, we used to have, then it's a problem. It's a good thing for one
Some
thing.
things might be good short term, but maybe not long term, I'm thinking, because we're taking everything that we learn in science, but we're also looking at what we know as far as being a Seventh-day Adventist health practitioners and what we know about that, and so we're trying to put that all together. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we had our potato here, and now we're gonna add a layer or the cream veggie cream, and the edges. Okay, that's good. So we're gonna put the cream, half of that.
Okay.
And gonna spread it. Then we're gonna put guacamole. So guacamole is just, everybody knows, right? It's just lemon and salt. That's all we put. It makes it super tasty.
Super, did you? Say that one more time.
This has peels. We make the potato, the problem with the potato is when you put butter, whatever you put on it, but we don't remove the skin. So we just cook with the skin, so you have the fiber for the sugar, not to go to the yo-yo effect. So everything else, it has fiber. So everything here has fiber, 100%. So when you have fiber, then your blood sugar is going to be stable. Also if you do sun, decreases your blood sugar. A lot of onions decrease the blood sugar. We have onions. Everything here is decrease inflammation.
Are you familiar with how fiber works to decrease blood sugar? So when you're eating foods that don't have fiber, then the sugar that is within that food is going to get absorbed into your bloodstream, like almost immediately. And what it will do is it will cause your blood sugar to spike. And then your pancreas thinks we got to bring that blood sugar down, and then your blood sugar plummets, and then you have a hypoglycemic event. And your body does not like to have these spikes up and down. It likes to be very regular. So what happens when you eat food that is very high in fiber content is that food is a little bit more, takes more time to digest, and your blood sugar tends to go up at a much slower rate, at a rate that your body can absorb it, and you tend not to have those kinds of spikes, ups and downs, and it's typically these foods tend to be more nutritious too. So you're going to be getting more minerals and vitamins and these types of things, and so.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I was wondering when they said that they peel the tomato.
Yeah, so some of these are advanced concepts, like with the lectins and everything. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, some people peel the tomato. I was following some studies, Dr. Michael Greger, that when you cook it, they're okay. If you don't cook it, it's not. So they're toxic if you eat like raw. Some people juice potatoes, that's very toxic, even for the brain. But if you cook them, the lectins are destroyed. If
Potato or tomato? Which one did you say? Potato?
Potato.
So
You say tomato.
juicing
Potato, not healthy at all. Very, very unhealthy. But because large amounts of lectins, and also there is, the starch hasn't been processed right, and they ended up in any part of your body and linked to leaky gut.
This is very confusing because some people will say that, to heal, that you should eat 1 raw potato a day, or you should soak a raw potato and drink that juice. And so everybody has, potato is kind of a confusing one. And I think, we shouldn't get too caught up with any one thing, right? And so, I feel
and these are foods that God created.
Yeah.
They're clean. They're good. Same thing with all the lectins. When we soak them, cook them, the lectins are not an issue.
Yes.
We still have a little amount of lectins, which are even healthy for cancer. So it's how we eat the foods, how they're gonna heal. So we have here, so we put no, it's still okay. Do not panic. It's good, but you can tell how it's gonna be. It's gonna be exciting. Super exciting. So now we have, the next layer is gonna be the guacamole. What's this?
It's in the blender.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Okay, so we're gonna put half of this, because with half of that, I'm gonna make a dressing for the salad. So we're just gonna spread it. We have to spread
You want me
it
to do this?
evenly. Yeah. I'm gonna put it, and then you can spread it.
Okay.
We're making a lot of salad. Okay, that can be spread.
Okay.
Maybe a little more. Okay, so that's gonna be for the salad, and then we're gonna top with the salsa. But in the meantime, I'm gonna make the dressing, and don't waste this, don't wash it. Just use it like this, and I'm gonna put the rest of this guacamole, because we have about 30 people, so we're gonna use all this for the dressing. This is how we use, instead using oils, which are harsh for us, we have autoimmunity. So I'm just gonna put this. You can put coconut milk if you have it, or you can just put water, salt, and lemon. That's it. As simple as that. Since we have milk, I'm just gonna use the milk. So I'm gonna put about a cup. I think that'll be good. Probably gonna have a little more salt. You have the recipes there. Yeah, you have the recipes there. So I'm gonna put more salt. Probably a little more, because we have a lot of.
Celtic salt versus, sea salt and Celtic salt probably just depends on where they're getting it. I think Celtic, isn't that from
Celtic from the ocean.
Well, yeah,
Supposed
France,
to be good
right?
salt, yeah.
And so it depends on where they're getting it. I like real salt, which is from Utah. What kind of salt are you using?
I use I use the Himalaya.
Himalayan?
I use Celtic.
So it depends on where you're getting it.
As long as it's a healthy, yeah.
It's not, if you get just regular, Morton's table salt, so that's just sodium chloride, that's 2 minerals, versus if you're getting it from the ocean where they haven't refined it further, then you're getting, they say, I think about 80 some minerals in that. So you might be getting some more minerals from that, since your food doesn't have that much. I like getting it from a land type of salt mine versus the ocean. At this point,
We're going to blend this.
This is an ocean salt.
It's ocean, but it's a whole salt. It's not refined.
And your Himalaya salt?
Himalaya salt is good too.
Does it have any minerals?
Yeah,
It
it would be the
probably
same
90
kind of thing.
plus. Celtic salt also has 90 plus. And then Himalaya is supposed to have iodine if you check the website. Then you want to do the consistency you want. So I think this will need a little more milk or water. Since we have the milk, we're just gonna add it. And also, I like to use the juice. We can add this. The juice of the salsa, if you have it, and that will be done. So we're gonna.
Were you going to tell them at all about the salad itself too and how you marinate the onions?
Okay, so what I do, you have these mandolins, are so easy to use for making salad.
Mandolins, instead of hand slicing your onions, you have that long mandolin that you put that onion on, and it can make nice, even slices, right? So we do really thin, even slices that you would use for like a hamburger or something, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to put these images in your head, but oh, hey, veggie burger. So that type of thinly sliced onion, you would marinate in lemon juice for about half an hour, and it gives it a really nice flavor. And then you can put that in your onions, in your salad. And I think, is that what we did today?
Yeah, we marinate the onions with lemon salt and also the cucumber. If you want radishes, you can do that. Also, we put, what is this onion, humongous onion? What is it called?
Leek or
green? Leek. So you chop it up very thin because leek is super powerful for the microbiome. So we put that and marinate it with lemon onion.
You know, English is, Mercy's second language is my second language too. So we both are asking each other, what's that word?
Just me.
Now the tomato you put in there, you didn't peel.
No, we don't peel anything. This is organic.
She was asking about the lectins because some people...
The lectins in tomatoes really not a problem, unless you have problem with the nightshades, which I haven't had many people even that have autoimmunity. The problem with nightshades is when they don't soak the other stuff. I mean, not nightshades with the lectin, it's when they don't soak beans, seeds, nuts, and grains, and pseudograins. But when they soak all that, the small amounts in the lectin here is actually good because they protect from cancer also. So this is the dish. Ta-da! Okay. I'm gonna put it back. It's okay. It's still look good. Okay, so we have a few of those there for everybody to taste, but we're gonna move to another dish. So we probably can clear all this up and this and this. We're gonna, maybe somebody can watch this.
Okay.
You can send somebody. So what we're gonna do is, because gluten-free, you had to have the bread, right? So when I first I was gluten-free, my mom tried to create a gluten-free bread, and it was like a rock. So you just drop it, and it was click. But we didn't catch anything that looked like bread. I will eat it because I grew up with bread. So 3 times a day. So, but little by little, we learned more. And then my husband made gluten-free bread in the machine. It wasn't bad. It would kind of fall apart, but it was okay. It's okay. So one day I decided, I'm going to create this bread. I'm going to do it and do it. So 2 months I was in the kitchen every night, and I bought all kind of gluten-free flours, and it can be super nice bread, super perfect bread. The only problem, I found out the yeast is made from what? Wheat. The yeast is for some people that cannot tolerate wheat, corn and soy, all the stuff that I couldn't tolerate. So I said, well, I don't want my health going downhill again. So what I did is, we're working right now in creating our own yeast, and I had some bread that we made with our own yeast, because you can make your own yeast from pseudograins. And but this is a simple thing that you can do. It doesn't take much. It's so easy. So one day I was saying, I'm going to try to see if I can make this flat bread. That is easy, as long as it tastes good. Doesn't have to be like perfect, but as long as it tastes good, I'm happy with that. So I bought this, all that can go. So I bought the plantain, That can go, I can have a new one. The plantain, everybody like plantain? Okay. No, I don't know how to do that. I never done it, never grew up with this, but, so I just slice it.
Marcia, are you done with this stuff?
Yeah. I need something to chop when you come back. Yeah.
What do you need to chop? Another chopping board?
So what I did is I put a half a cup of flaxseed. And this is going to give the texture, soft texture. So for people that gluten-free, anything that's resembling to breading is tasty, we're happy. But if you're not gluten-free, you probably want the regular bread. So then we put a quinoa flour. Let's see. Anybody sees the quinoa flour?
What's that right in front of you?
That's the quinoa flour. Okay. We have the quinoa flour. So I put it 1 cup, and you might need to adjust this depending, because we never know how much, the planting can be different every time. But this is what I did. I might need to adjust, because you want the right texture. So I put 1 cup of this.
Can you make your own flour from quinoa in the Fibre?
Yeah, yeah. We do it all the time because we want our flowers to be sprouted. So I only use sprouted flowers. So now I have half a teaspoon of salt. And you can put a vanilla. We might have vanilla someplace, but we're just going to do.
I can find it.
You can find it on the table. So that's it. Isn't it easy? Very few ingredients. Because plantain is hotter and it's not as sweet. But you can do it with banana. I done with banana too. It's a little harder because it gets too mushy. Yeah. A question?
No water.
No water. Isn't that easy? Yeah. So we're going to put a little vanilla. Sorry, calculating. Then we need the cook sheet. It's there with the paper. See, we got the dough. Isn't it easy? When I made this, I got so excited because, boy, this is easy. When I don't have bread, because the bread takes such a long time, I wash this before because I don't want to touch dirt touch it inside. So see, you have your little things, and this is too moist. So this is too much. That's why you had to adjust. So what we're going to do in a plate, we're going to put some of this flour. I think there's a plate someplace. The bowl is okay. Yeah. So what I do, I put a little, it was a large plantain. So I'll put a little flour.
So this is how much flour she's putting in.
And I'm going,
I'll put it every
it's a quinoa flour. I might not use the whole thing. I'm just going to dust it with it. Yeah. So I'm going to put a little of the other flour, just mix it. Sometimes it comes perfect. If I wouldn't use less plantain, it wouldn't be perfect. But you never know unless you. So I go like this. So just dust it, see? And make a little balls here, like this. And then, see, you just form it. Got it, done. They taste good because they're a little sweet, and you put the vanilla and the, also the, it has sweetener in the salt. It just make a good combination. So this is the way it's supposed to be soft, but not too sticky. So you just go like this, and we're done. So we're gonna put in the oven 400 about 20 minutes, and then turn it in another 10 minutes. Depending on your oven, you don't want them to burn.
If it wouldn't have been mushy, you didn't have to put more flour.
Exactly. It wouldn't be just perfect. So you always have to adjust with gluten-free. It's never the same.
And I made some of the ones, sorry. I made some of the ones from yesterday. So don't judge them. Okay.
It doesn't work. It doesn't move, it doesn't mix it well. That's why this food, I make everything in the food processor. Bread, even the bread, nice bread, a food processor. I make tortillas in the food processor. It makes a perfect dough. Yeah, so I use chopping everything there because, we're busy, right? So
You need a larger food processor. What was mine, 13 cups?
11 cups, 13 cups is perfect.
11 cups was too small. It ran over, so I had to get a 13-cup one. Quick, I'll let you.
Can you stretch the thing like if it was a real tortilla so you can actually make a taco or something?
You can make it flat and then, yeah, but it's not gonna be flexible. The tortillas that we made flexible, they have a wargon and cooked potato and quinoa flour. It makes a perfect, with a little of this and salt, it makes a perfect blended taco. Actually, Joyce and I we're working on producing the tortillas.
How about if you put it in the Mexican compressor?
Yeah, we done that. We do that in the Mexican compressor with the other recipe. This one won't work for that.
She said she put a little quinoa flour in a bowl and then she added.
Flax meal. Flax meal.
Yeah, the same ingredients that are here.
Okay, so do you want to finish this, or do you want to do something else, and then we can?
Yeah, we're gonna go to, I was thinking to show you a green salsa. So we have the whole bowl with everything's needed there.
The green salsa? Okay.
Yeah, maybe you can make that one. And that's it, we'll be done.
I can take this back.
Okay, we're almost done.
Yeah,
Just two
I'll
more.
do this one then, and then you do this.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the next one. This is tomatillo. Everyone likes tomatillo. You had a board.
Hmm?
The board. Oh, you had it.
Oh, this is organic quinoa flour. What we'll actually do, we'll actually soak it and then dehydrate it and then make a flour with it. This one we bought because we didn't have enough. This is
Red Mill.
Bob's Red Mill.
They sell also sprouted quinoa flour. They sell that. We prefer that. If you have serious condition, we rather to do the sprouted. Sprouted quinoa flour.
We just bought it from the bulk and then ground it.
Can you spell what she just said, that spiral Q or whatever?
Sprouted quinoa flour.
I usually put an avocado to this salsa. But I'm going to leave a little of the avocado here, so that will be the base. Yeah, that should be good. So we're going to add the tomatillos. This was going to be for our lunch, but since we didn't make it, so we just, let's show them how to do this. And then we put a little of green onions, about half a cup green onions. And it was 4 tomatillos. They're called tomatillos, right? They're not tomatoes. I think it's from another family, but they're the green tomatoes, tomatillos. So they're in season right now, so you can make it. And then we put cilantro. This is all washed.
Put the onion part that I throw away.
Huh? Oh, no. We can put the whole thing. We eat all that. That's all good. We use the golden because it looks better. I done with the other one, it doesn't look that good. The consistency is different. Yeah. So I use that. And then we put a garlic and salt. And if you have coconut You can put coconut, otherwise just put water. Since we have this, we're just gonna put coconut milk. And we're gonna put our salt. I don't think, no, this is a recipe. I got it for us to do it, but since we didn't get to that, for us to eat, so I'm just showing. Okay, not too bad, huh? Not too difficult.
So, you know, the Mexican green salsa, we cook everything, we boil it.
Yeah. We don't boil, this is raw. We want to eat as much raw as we can with the foods that can be eaten raw. There is foods that you just don't want to eat raw because, like in Japan, they were making this powder of the beans, and people are losing weight, so they're selling all over. All the time, people start getting super sick with this inflammation. Because beans, some people soaked like lentils and they eat raw, so that's a no-no. Like potatoes is a no-no. The sweet potatoes is a no-no, eat raw. So there's stuff that we can eat raw, but whatever you can eat raw is super great because that's gonna help your healing process pretty fast.
It would be good to give a list of what we cannot eat raw.
Can eat raw? Yeah, it's not many things. It's just those few things that we said. Yeah. Okay, so we are done. We're gonna set it up for everybody to eat, and we wanna thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure. We're very happy to come.
We have to be out of here.